Good morning,
Hello.
everyone. Welcome to our very first guest expert interview with Claire Praom. I've been practicing your name so I wouldn't get it wrong. Claire is a beautiful confidence and style coach from Swindon, and she's going to be here to talk to us about, your style and how colors can impact your confidence and how they can actually bring more confidence into your life and help you create a new identity. Claire helps ambitious women master unshakable inner confidence and style so they can create unstoppable success. And I can attest to this because I recently did a photo shoot in October back in, it's not London, somewhere outside of London that I don't know. And Claire helped style me for the photo shoot. And it's probably the first time where I felt super confident in front of a camera. And it was a new experience for me. I'd never had anyone help me with my style or even give me small tips to really elevate my look. And I really appreciated Claire's input into that photo shoot itself. Her mission, which I absolutely love, is to bring inner and outer confidence so you have the courage to follow your dreams and create success that you deserve. Claire, welcome.
Breathe
Claire.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm great. And you?
I am really good. I'm really excited to have you here.
Oh, thanks.
I'm excited. For the people who are listening who don't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey from true style and confidence.
Yeah, so it's all starting really with a change, with some pain. Probably most of the journeys where you transition in your life, it starts with something that you struggle with. Really, most of the coaches where we both trained, not at the same time, but they all started with their journey on getting better for themselves and then seeing the difference that it makes on their life and then want to change. So it's the same for me really. So it started in 2008 basically. So my daughter was born in 2007. And then I was going back to work. I think she was 7 months when I went back to work. And I was really struggling during that time, during the time I was on maternity leave, because I was not sure what to wear. Well, it started really towards the end of the pregnancy because I was going to the city to see some banks. And over there, they all wear some nice suits and nice dresses. And I was like, oh, my body's changing and I don't know what to wear. And I think it improved a lot with the maternity wear. But back then, it was a struggle. There was not many brands, and it didn't look nice. It looked like frumpy. So it was either you had to pay really big price. I can't remember the name of that brand now. It's so long ago. But if you had children recently, you might know the one I meant. And it did look glam and classic and nice, good for work. But it was like over the odd prices that I wanted to pay because I was thinking, well, I'm going to go back to normal wear, So, didn't think my body would change a bit. Because then I was like on a different planet, basically. So yeah, it started like that. And I was like really struggling with, obviously I haven't had this experience already yet, but the breastfeeding tops, the bras, nothing was nice back then. And I was like, oh, I don't feel sexy, I don't look nice. And I always enjoyed shopping and I always knew what to wear before. It was easy, like suits, and I knew what to wear. And then suddenly this big change really knocked my confidence out. And I remember my partner Nick said to me, let's go to Reading for shopping that day. And I was like, what for? What am I gonna buy? I don't know what to buy. So then I started to look into stylists, and there was not a huge amount of them. They were mainly in London, and it seemed like quite extravagant prices compared to what even I'm charging now. It was like, grand. I was like, that's a lot of money when you're on maternity leave, So I said, well, I always, love style and stuff. And then I did find a more local person, and prices were more reasonable. So I started with the colors and then the style, and it did help me. And I said, oh, where did you train? Because at the time I was like, I want more flexibility with my life and stuff. So that's when I did my training to become what they call an image consultant, because you're learning all the colors, style, and presentation, and wardrobe detox, and all this kind of stuff. So that's how I started, really. Yeah.
Amazing. Oh my gosh, amazing.
Trying to get myself back in track.
Yeah, and you know what? One of the things I hear a lot of is how when women go on maternity leave or are having their first child, how they lose an element of their style and then it takes them so long to come back to it. So I'm like loving that you've highlighted that, because it's a big thing for a lot of women. How do you find confidence and style? Like, how are they linked, or what is the relationship there?
Yeah, there is definitely a big correlation, because it's the same with body language. If you think of body language, the communication, so what you see, so imagine you're going to meet someone, and you shake their hand and say nice to meet you, with sad face, no enthusiasm, no, no, like your posture is down, you just say nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Does that person, or me, am I gonna feel like, really, does she really want to meet me? Is she that excited?
Yeah.
So you said the same word that I would say, hey, nice to meet you, with a big smile, posture, nice, and dressing nice and everything. But what you've picked up is this, oh, she's not, that first impressions of me is like, it's not that great. So it's the same. The visual is accounting for 55% of the first thing that people make up of you. So, you can just imagine how important it is in that perspective, really. But also, it's how you feel. I mean, I know that, from past experience, from listening to clients and so on, saying, oh yeah, I don't feel great when I'm going to the gym with no makeup on. And you see it on all those women that do their exercise. Oh, sorry, no makeup today. And it's like, well, why do you apologize? You either want to put your makeup, or you find comfortable without your makeup. But how would you feel if, let's say, I'm going to take your ex, I don't know him or anything, but let's say, but or you still, for example, if someone is still in love with her ex and she's like jealous that he's now got a new wife or new girlfriend, and she goes down the street to the local shop, and it's Sunday night, she wants some stuffing, whatever, she goes there running, and she's in a tracksuit or whatever, and she just meet the wife, the ex-girlfriends or whatever it is, and it's like, oh shit, sorry, that's more, it's like, oh, that's not the impression I wanted to give. I wanted to be my most powerful type. And so by dressing yourself nicer, you would have felt better. So that's simple. I think it's really linked.
And that has happened to me, where I've like bumped into my ex and his new girlfriend, and I am wearing trackies and a loose hoodie, and my hair is in my pineapple, and I'm like going to buy probably chocolate and a bottle of wine and bring it back to the house for the others, and others. And I was like, it made me feel powerless. Like, I remember feeling, so small, so insignificant. And if I had been dressed up, looking hot, tan on, makeup on, even if I was in like jeans and a t-shirt, I'd been like, nailed it, Interesting. Do you find, because like obviously a lot of us are working from home, and especially with female entrepreneurs, there's a lot of female entrepreneurs out there, is what we're wearing, do you feel like it impacts our performance, our productivity, our businesses in general, our confidence in the business?
I do. I truly believe it, actually, because when I was working in oil and gas, we had this Friday, jeans Friday. And so most of the week we were all dressed up nice and, suits, and not always suits, but like nice corporate wear. Yeah. And then on a Friday, because we had quite a lot of technicians there, if it was a summer, they'll be in shorts. And it's like, that's not on, you should still be in your tracksuit jeans or something, not flip-flops, and it's not the beach. You're coming to work, but the productivity was going down. Everybody would be having there was a bacon burger kind of van coming in the morning, and the Friday everybody would be like going out to get something, so it felt more like really casual and relaxed, so your productivity was going down. And when I was working in the IT, one of my big customers was the British BAA, the British airports. And I remember obviously talking IT stuff and jargon, and they were saying, the productivity on Monday morning for that first hour is not good, so they knew everything, they know all the data, and same on Friday. So obviously the Monday morning is trying to get back to that routine. So 1 hour, yeah, you can cope. But the Friday, like, you know, a lot of people will just not be productive at their maximum really. So dressing up, and I mean, I find it personally, if I don't dress up, I'm not dressing like this every day. I don't know if I cannot see myself properly, but
Yeah,
I don't
good.
dress up all the time like this. And I don't do the full makeup like this neither, but I still do my mascara and I do a bit of lipstick or gloss or something to make me feel alive. And if I do videos, which I intend to do today, and obviously we are live, so I just make a big effort. But I would say I still make an effort every day by dressing up. I don't want to be like in my joggy bottom. Even opening the door, I will feel embarrassed. That's how stupid I am. When it comes to that, I don't know. I think joggy bottom is for the evening when I'm relaxed watching something on TV, or, you know, casual doing something with the kids on Saturday morning. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I agree. Like, I know the days that I wear tracky bottoms and I'm sitting here at the desk trying to do work, or even, you know, the half like profesh on top and then like relax on the bottom. I feel like I'm not in my zone. I'm not performing to my best. I'm not putting in the best effort. And I think it's because part of me is still switched off. So it's
yeah.
really interesting that you see that as, I thought that might be just a me thing, but I'm glad it's an everyone thing.
No, I think a lot of people don't realize the effect it has on them, but
Yeah,
it does.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Can
I
see us doggy.
apologize. My dog has decided to enter. So given that, you know, obviously wearing really relaxed clothes, it's going to put you in that relaxed state of mind. What can women do to empower themselves through style?
Well, the style. So how to empower yourself through style? It's a good question because there's a lot of ways you can empower yourself through style, but it's all gonna start really with obviously confidence comes from really two main things, I would say: self-love,
Mm-hmm.
and also by achieving things, by making progress, baby steps, you know, for example, like you said, oh, bottle of wine and chocolate, by you acknowledging and starting to think, okay, I'm acknowledging, so that's progress, you know. And maybe journal. I was reading actually last night or the night before, when you journal, they've done some studies. It's in the book, I don't know if you know him, Jay Shetty, I'm
Yeah,
crap for his names, but anyway, it's
that's his name.
Think Like a Monk. And it's a really good book. And he's talking about, they've done some studies in America about the power of journaling with mental health.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you are living on your own or living with kids and you're suddenly, you know, facing this big breakup and so on, and you're struggling to cope, I think journaling is probably a good place. Making progress is going to be step by step. So, for example, I remember you mentioned before that you were wearing masculine clothing, and I think a lot of people, when they want to retract and when they want to hide, I always say that to people: don't hide under a tent. And it, you know, like clothing that's too baggy, that doesn't, you don't look like you have any shape. When you do have a shape, even if you're not at the weight you want to be, you still have a shape, and you can still make the most of your shape. So body shape is really important, to learn how to dress for your body shape. That's a
Yeah.
good start to think about, okay, what's flattering my shape. So, you know, we're all basically, to be in a nutshell, because I know this podcast is not just purely on body shape, so we're not going to go into that, but we're all trying to reproduce basically the eight, you know, the hourglass shape, because that's the most sexy, that's the most flattering shape. So try to think about this when you are trying to wear something that you want to, you know, to make your best with, because you might, I mean, like an example of somebody really close to me, my sister, when she first got divorced after 20 something years, so she was in her late 30s, I think 37, 38, and she had basically lost her sense of style. She was a strong woman, but she had lost her style through dressing up like he wanted her to dress up, like classic and no makeup and no heels. I felt like she would think of me and him when we were together like I was Barbie doll, and I wasn't. I was just normal, wearing normal heels, not like the stilettos and stuff, and a bit of makeup, and they will think probably like, oh, she looks like a Barbie, you know, but I don't. But because she was like more the other way, very, very, very classic for her age and so on. So I asked her actually prior to this interview, I said, what made you change completely your style? Because obviously she was slim, she had lost lots of weight, so we were a bit worried about her weight. And she said, well, I was approaching being 40, and she said basically that she wanted to change, a big change, and she wanted to renew herself. So she asked some friends that she liked the style of, to help her, like looking more modern. And then she did, she go, well, she lives in France, but she went to those places where you can have makeup done, for free, and they sell you some makeup, like the House of Fraser type of things, in France. And then so they did, and she was like, oh yeah, I look younger and better, because she never put any makeup apart from a bit of mascara. It was, all natural. And so now it's really strange still for me years later to see my sister with heels on and like full makeup on. It's such a change, because obviously I don't see her as often as I'd like. And it's still like, oh wow, what a transformation, all those years that she kind of lost herself in her image. She might regret, I don't know.
And that happens to a lot of women when we go into relationships where we don't feel like fully aligned with the person, and we don't even know it ourselves. It happened to me, and I was telling Claire about it. What back in the day before we met, I was a very funky dress wearer. I loved fashion, Daisy Duke shorts. I've got great legs, so I'm happy to show them off. And I just had a much sexier, much sleeker look. And I really was into that figure 8 styling, bringing in the waist, highlighting my bum because it's massive. So I'm like, Kim K, why not? And when I was in a relationship, one of the first things that started to change was how I looked, because he didn't like all of that on display for everyone else. And I found that I ended up buying very masculine styling, big loose shirts in very masculine colors, plain army greens, no real finesse to them. And and it takes a long time to come out of it. And do you know what highlighted it to me was when I went to a dating agency, and they said to me, even my makeup was very it lacked any sort of femininity to it. I had a very masculine vibe. I was giving off a very cold vibe. And actually on my first date, I wore a long black loose dress, think Morticia Adams, and that was what I looked like on that date. And none of that was empowering or attractive, but it also lacked all that feminine energy, that softness, that sweetness that actually it's like a mask. You're hiding all of that.
You're hiding. And then I suppose some people might put on weight as well, so that's holding them back. They're thinking, well, when I'm dressing up because I'm hoping to lose weight. I've had clients like that. Well, you go through their wardrobe. That's when you could still go and physically do it. But you go through their wardrobe, and it's like, well, I don't want to be in that because I might wear it when it's like 2 sizes smaller. So let's hide all the things. Actually, we're coming into this kind of tip really on decluttering. But it's no point keeping the things that you cannot wear. So either they're too big because you've lost weight, like my sister did, or it's too big because it's too small because you've put on weight, or you've had children in all process and everything, and you've kind of lost that style. So you don't have to be in it. If you still love it, just put it in a box, hide it, so you don't mess up with your mind. How good is it? You open your wardrobe and you see size 10 and you're size 14, and you're like, oh, I cannot wear it, I love it. So you're better off hiding it. Get a few things that are going to make you feel good at that time, that fits you and suit your body shape. You don't have to change all your full wardrobe because you know that you're aiming to go back to a better weight, a better size, or whatever is comfortable for you. And I think that's the key thing. It's get rid of what you don't want to see type of thing at that time that is not serving you at all, really. And another thing to empower yourself, apart from the body shape, is, so if you are trying to lose weight, let's say, or trying to look slimmer, is to use the vertical lines to your advantage, because that's much slimmer. I don't have an example on me. Well, I'll show you how many people are going to see. I brought this because I wanted to say, you don't have to do it on paper like I did, but that's kind of a helpful thing to do, is to put together on a piece of paper things that you like. But the easiest way nowadays is to probably do it on Pinterest. You can just collage things together and think, okay, I like that, I like that, I like that. It's trying to do some positive steps to put your mind out of this situation, out of the breakup, onto a positive mindset. So so the vertical lines basically elongate yourself. So if you're short like me, that's elongating, but also it makes you slimmer. So put those, I don't know your body shape actually, but let's like me then. So we're always trying to recreate this hourglass, create effect with waist. But anyway, let's say you're a pear shape. So it's gonna be, I've had some clients that were dramatically different sizes from the top to the bottom, like really. Like I think she was a 16 at the bottom and a 12 at the top. So big difference. Yeah, big pear shape. Anyway, well, not big, but like big difference in terms. So if you put your slimmest things at the bottom, so in terms of lines and colors, and recreate the volume at the top. So put some colors at the top, because that's the first thing your eye sees, colors, or white. If you're wearing black at the bottom, the white bit is going to be make the thing that you want to show off first. So be mindful. For example, if you want to hide that you've got big boobs, then put a different kind of colors at the bottom and so on. So all those tricks really that works, that makes you slimmer. So the vertical lines is definitely one big tip that are going to straight away make you lose weight instantly by just using. And when I say vertical lines, so it can be through buttons, it can be through like panels. You can have some tops or dresses that have panels, so it's slimmer because it cuts a chunk of your body so to speak with the way it's cut. So creating a vertical emphasis with like that kind of stuff, I don't know if you can see, like that kind of thingy. Also with a scarf, you can create a vertical effect. You can create effects with jewelry, like a pendant or something like that. So think about all of that kind of effects that you're creating, really.
That is so interesting, because like I wouldn't have a clue. I'd be like, I think I'm just going to wear jeans today. But it's like, it's so important to know all of these little tips, because they have a huge impact. And like I said, during the photo shoot, it really did have a huge impact on how I felt in front of the camera and how the photos came out in the end. So like I had that beautiful shape in a pattern and color that looked good on me. And like, if you hadn't changed things up, I probably would have gone in there feeling a little bit dumpy and old and frumpy and in that very like loose masculine shape that's not really accentuating my feminine qualities. I have a funny question for you, because I work a lot with masculine and feminine energies with my own clients. And I find that we live in a very masculine world, very structured, goal-oriented, we're given to-do lists, our jobs are very structured. Do you find that there is a lean towards more masculine styles and shapes for us women, or are we coming back to that softer look? Because I found that working in corporate, and I worked in oil and gas and mining and utilities, and insurance, I lived in suits. I lived in very masculine styles. And even my dresses were that super structured suit style, that when it became downtime, I was often still in those very heavily structured items or garments or whatever.
Yeah, I know what you mean, actually. It's hard to get away from what you're used to wear for 5 days in a week, isn't it? And to the point where I had a client, he was a bank manager, and he was really struggling with dressing down at the weekend, because he was like still in his suits minding, he was like struggling to wear the same things. He was tempted to do what he knew type of thing, so it's like we're trying to make him think, no, actually you can actually wear something much more relaxed. You're allowed allow yourself, and allow yourself to be feminine and be sexy. And colors is the thing that I would say really is empowering. And like, I'm not sure if you know the power of red. And I mean, a lot of people have been talking about red, all over the years. But there's one thing that can instantly, ladies, really help you is wearing a bit of red, whether it's a nail varnish, a lipstick, a lip gloss, you don't have to go and choose your color, choose something you're comfortable with. Because a lot of people, when I work with them, they're like, oh no, I don't like red, it's too bright, it's too in your face. It's not suiting my personality. Well, everybody has a red. My red is not a bright red because I'm muted cool. So my coloring doesn't allow me to wear black or white. I look like a paracetamol if I wear black and white. So, I've got to fit with my coloring. But anyway, so wear your red. It can be a red shirt, it can be a red scarf, it can be something, but it's proven that red, first of all, if you are back in the market, it's going to help you to be sexier and to be seen as sexier. Because there was a study done on in bars and restaurants, women, like waitresses that wore red lipstick or red nail varnish appear to be much more sexy to men. So they got 25% more tips. That's quite a lot of.
That's amazing.
A big chunk, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, and I mean, I could go on and on about red, but I'm going to do a masterclass on colors at the end of this month. And if anybody wants to join, because we're going to be talking about all of that.
I will totally be there.
yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm doing a quiz at the end. But anyway, so red is such a powerful color. It's reducing, again, like the power pose, that we were mentioning before. Yeah, that or that. It's helping you with your cortisol level, which is your stress hormone. So it's, when you want to be in power. And I used to work, well, it's a friend really. So I used to see that lady a lot. And she was a big boss of a big travel company. And she was saying to me when we did our colors, and I said, oh yeah, you need to wear bright colors, and red is looking so great for you. And she said, yeah, I've noticed, and I've talked about, over a barbecue, about the power of red and stuff. And she's like, that's really interesting, because when I'm in a meeting wearing red, everybody listens to me much more, and I'm getting my wares much more, and so on. And she said, now I'm going to wear red all the time. So it's definitely worth, if you are a CEO of a big company or or aiming for a big change in your career and you want to be seen, wearing red is the power color really. But also it makes you feel good. When you wear red, you are different. And the wearer, the person that wears it, feels different. So start small. You don't have to go all red.
I mean,
but
yeah, I started wearing red lipstick after London, and it's not a true red. It's like a pinky red. It's like one of the MAC ones. Don't ask me what it's called, but I actually wear it when I'm going live a lot because it gives me that boost of confidence. I've been wearing it when I'm going on dates, and I accidentally wore it to the gym one day, mostly because I'd been live and then went to the gym, and I actually noticed a significant difference in attention that I was getting when I was in there, and I was, it's interesting. But it is true that little dash of red in your own appearance can make you feel really good, like really sexy. I love it. So what other tips and tricks can the listeners and the watchers put into their own lives to feel more confident, or even just to feel more empowered day to day?
I would say start by keeping it simple. It's no point saying, right, that's it, I'm going to be a new me, I'm going to dress like that character in the movie or a character in a series that I like. Straight away, just take your time and try things, now with all the online returns, it's easy for you to take quite a few things and return them. So don't feel pressure, just take your time. One thing that I always say to people is, if you don't love what you're trying on, don't buy it. That's the first thing. The second thing is if it doesn't suit your body shape, your coloring, if it doesn't look very flattering on you, don't buy it. So you're gonna start noticing, what does it do to my body? Does it make me feel good? Is that the image I want to portray? Yes, no. So it's gonna start really not just throwing something on, just start being conscious of what you're throwing on, because that effect that it has on you. And when you start receiving compliments, it's obviously gonna boost your confidence. because who loves, not you, we always love receiving compliments, whether we accept them or not, we do.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's nice, somebody's complimented me today, or somebody's noticed, even if they don't say it, you notice that they looked at you different at the gym.
That's
So
so funny that you say that, because Irish women in particular are not amazing at receiving compliments. Our natural statement is, oh, this, no, I got it somewhere cheap 10 years ago, and we'll play it down massively. So ladies, if you are not accepting compliments, you're doing yourself a disservice. Say thank you and say nothing else. Just accept it, because it does you the world of good.
Yeah.
And compliment yourself.
Yeah. I mean, it's not just in Ireland, in France, in England, everybody. It's a struggle with women loving themselves and loving. It dips down. It's that, isn't it? It's that feeling like that I am enough, that I am loved.
Absolutely.
And I suppose the journey that women have to do with your coaching is really on the self-love side of it, isn't it?
100%. It's coming back to yourself, fully accepting yourself. And I also do want to say there are seasons to a breakup, or to getting back out there. You've got your initial period where you are grieving, and it's hard, and there is that tendency to hide away, and that, I think that's fair enough. If you feel like you need to hide and cover up and soothe yourself, then that's totally fine. If that means that you wear your Sherpa fleece jumper every day for 6 months, I'm all for that. It's when you start to come back out, when you're ready to come back out, trying to embody some of those style tips and get that confidence back to be seen again and to be out and around people again. The smallest little thing, like wearing earrings, can change you. And I've shared a lot about my breakup. I came from quite an emotionally abusive relationship, a very controlling relationship. A lot of my day-to-day was very heavily managed, including to an extent what I was wearing or what I was doing. So when you get that independence again, own it, be in it, start to enjoy that season of freedom, of self-acceptance, put on that jewelry, put on the red lipstick, put on those ditzy little Daisy Duke shorts if you want, get a bum out there if you want, find that part of you again that's fun and sexy and vibrant.
Yeah.
What is your number one style habit that totally empowers you?
Well, quite a few things, I suppose. I like preparing or thinking mentally, because I work from home now. So I think mentally, what am I going to wear the next day? Like I knew last night what I was going to wear for today. And I do that for most days, apart from Saturday, Sunday. But I think it's really good to take into the habit, if you're working in an office and stuff, it's just like, what's going to make me feel good tomorrow? Instead of like, oh my God, I'm late, I need to pick up the kids, and I'm not going to be, what am I wearing? It's like you're wasting your time, you're wasting your energy, and you're starting your morning on a negative kind of pattern, like energy.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what I always done for many years, is prepare my clothes in the mornings. That's one thing that really helps.
Very Steve Jobs of you.
Say again?
Very Steve Jobs of you.
That's
what Steve Jobs used to do.
Yeah, a lot of people do that, and it's removing the stress, and it's like something else off your mind, isn't it, in the morning? And another thing that I would say I never really go out with is mascara. Because I used to have really nice eyelashes, but I don't know, with age I'm losing them. And I've tried those serum, it doesn't work. So I'm not sure what else to try, but I do put my mascara on. And most times lipstick as well, even if it's not a bright thing, like today is quite bright, but it doesn't have to be. It can be discreet, it can be just like I said, a colored balm, what do they call it? A
nudie lip.
Yeah, a nudie lip. Yeah, and something that makes you feel a bit more colorful, especially I'm really white pale anyway, and when it's the winter, you tend to want more of these colorings, that you catch a bit of a tan, you've got a bit of a glow, even if you're not exposing yourself, you still like glowing more. So in the winter, I think it's even more important to put some colors on, even if it's a white, colorful scarf or comber or something. Yeah.
Okay, no, the connection is dropping there. Did
I answer your question?
That was a perfect answer to your question. Okay, so Claire, like, I think you've given our listeners a lot to think about. And I'm really loving a lot of these style tips. Mascara has been my blessing since I was, I don't know, a teenager. I've always loved mascara. And yeah, that's a great one to start to just implement something so small, something so simple. Where can we find out more about you?
So I'm on Instagram and LinkedIn and Facebook, but my Instagram is love, is it big dash 2TO, big dash style, and then big dash UK. But also they can find me on love2style.com. And also if you're listening and you're interested in the colors, I'm doing a special masterclass. It's free on the 25th of January. So yeah, it's not very long to wait, and it will be a good start, by learning about colors, because I think it's a good thing to start introducing if you're in that kind of phase of hibernation, should we call it? I don't know how you call it. When you're hiding, or you're in that space where in your cocoon and you're trying to deal with everything.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Call it a self-soothing phase.
Self-soothing phase, yeah. As long as you decide that you want to get out, that's the thing, isn't it? It's a key, I suppose, and that's what you're doing, is coaching, is to get them out of there. But yeah, it's that's where they can find me.
Okay, amazing. For those of you who are part of the Single Women's Empowerment Club on Facebook, I've put in the links to Claire's confidence checklist and also to her style guide. I did Claire's color course not that long ago, and I actually loved it. And I know I'm very nudie fading into the background today if you're watching the video, but the color course was brilliant and I learned so much. And yeah, totally worth doing it. If you've got time, it's like 6 videos, so simple. So totally go on there. And I've also put the link to her Instagram into the description for the replay. So you can check her out on Instagram. Highly recommend. You get loads of little tips every sort of all the time. You're actually always giving tips. You're very active, I have to say, Claire. So totally worth checking her out and finding out more. So Claire, thank you so much for joining me. I'm so excited to do my first guest.
Oh yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Right. And look, I will look forward to seeing you again. I know myself and Claire talk all the time, so I'll be seeing you soon. Thank you to everyone who is listening. Thank you to everyone who joined us live or joined us on the replay. If you are listening on Spotify or Apple Music, please leave a review. Let us know what you found helpful in this interview and what style tips you're going to implement yourself. And if you've got any questions, check out love_2_style_UK, and you can find Claire there and ask her anything you want.